Welcome back to the ReEducation Camp podcast. Karen O'Toole hanging out with Colin Miller on this Friday. I should say it is actually D-Day. I know that that's kind of been lost in the mire, but it is the 81st anniversary of the invasion. I guess it was Operation Overlord. So most
Correct.
famously, we know that as the invasion of D-Day. We understand General Patton said we fought on the wrong side, but that's neither here nor there. We
Right.
remember the sacrifices of the day. And I believe Colin and I, both our grandfathers, were at Normandy. I don't know necessarily D-Day, but
Not
Normandy,
D-Day. They
correct?
were in
Like
France though.
plus, yeah. My grandfather was like D-Day plus two or plus three. I'm not 100%. I should probably find that out at some point in time. I think I knew the actual details, but that's neither here nor there. We have World War III happening, which is essentially the feud of the century, a breakup of all breakups, Elon Musk versus President Donald Trump happening today. And that's all anybody can talk about. That's all anybody wants to talk about. And I guess I'm just going to start by saying, like, do you think you're Team Elon or Team Trump? What do you think?
I'm kind of torn. I'm kind of conflicted because
Yeah.
on one hand, Elon did bring up a valid point that Trump would not have won without his support because you have to remember Elon relocated to Pennsylvania for a while there. And would Trump have won Pennsylvania without Elon? I don't know. I think it's
Not
up for
yeah,
debate.
not just that
Yeah.
the money he spent was
Yeah. Over
almost
300 million, I think he put into Trump's campaign.
yeah. And
Um,
I remember listening to somebody or like reading about like just expressing like what okay, especially when it comes to campaign financing. It's like yeah, I mean money just isn't even like real anymore. So it's like you say
no.
$300 million and people are like, somebody that has $25 in their bank account is just like that doesn't really sound like that much money. Is that much money? But when you actually break it down and compare like what even like George Soros or like certain people spend, it's a lot of money. Like he spent
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of money on this campaign. So yeah, that's a good point.
Don't
Why are
forget,
you
he
kind
he
of
was
yeah.
Elon was backing Ron DeSantis as early as 2023. Don't forget that Elon didn't even throw his hat in the ring in support of Trump until right after the Butler shooting. Remember?
Yeah.
Elon
Yes,
never
yeah.
endorsed him pre-Butler shooting. So there's that. And there's also one tweet in particular that really disturbs me about this whole thing. Elon was he was retweeting the great Ian Miles Chong. We can't laugh. We can't say his name without laughing because literally he's just this random guy from Malaysia that always has something to say about
Yeah.
American politics.
Yes, yes.
But
Ian Miles Chung in Malaysia, like in his like I guess like running a brothel or something, and he's like somehow one of the biggest voices in US politics, but
yeah,
I
he's
digress.
always
I
glazing
digress.
Elon.
Yeah.
Always
Yes, he is.
glazing Elon.
And as I have theorized in the very few tweets that I've ever posted, I actually believe Miles Chong is just one of Elon's alter egos. Like he just has like alter egos
Like
that just
Adrian
post.
Dittman. Do you know
Yes,
him?
yeah, yes. You actually told me about Adrian, but I'm saying like I think he just has like these accounts that have just been like blasted, and they're actually just all Elon, just doing different takes. But anyway, sorry.
hmm No, I agree. But Ian Miles Chong was saying that Trump should be impeached and Vance should take his place. And Elon retweeted that and said yes. So Elon already advocating for Trump to be impeached and Vance to take over. Now, Elon was one of the guys, it was him, Peter Thiel, and Tucker Carlson that made the call to Donald Trump to get him to pick Vance as his running mate. It was those three. Um, and there's a lot of weird stuff going on. I mean, there's the whole Palantir thing, and as we know, well, I don't even know if most people know this, but Vance is in the position that he's in because of Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel, who co-founded Palantir with a guy by the name of Alex Karp.
Mhm.
Peter Thiel got Vance his first job in venture capitalism in Silicon Valley. He financed his Senate run to the tune of 15 million, which up to that point, I think that was the largest contribution ever to a Senate run. So Vance didn't even have any experience in politics at all before that Senate run, and then a year later or whatever, he's vice president. So I think that this could be some sort of ploy by the PayPal mafia, little tech guys, to oust Trump. And that was always my fear with Vance as the pick. Like they're gonna get Trump out somehow, God forbid by, maybe doing whatever, or just trying to oust him, maybe by implicating him to Epstein, which we saw Elon do. And it's weird too because Peter Thiel also got implicated with Epstein. Like the same week that Trump did, it was revealed that Epstein gave 40 mil to Palantir in the early days, and now that has
Wow.
accumulated to $130 million. So I don't even really know. I mean, nobody knows what's going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's some sort of weird. It's like a real life Game of Thrones going on right now. So
Yeah, yeah, that's a good analogy. I mean, really, it's also much. I really just wish I was yachting with Greta Thunberg in the Mediterranean. Like that's what I
100%
would
living on
rather.
the edge.
They look like they're having a good time out there.
They
I think
do.
IDF like somehow um sees their boat or something, but you know
Hmm.
that they're gonna like use kid gloves on there. But like they look
Yeah.
like they're having a good time. It's probably some great weather. It looked like a great boat. I mean, like they just look like they're having a good time. So like I just wish I could just be yawning with Greta instead of being worried about, like you said, this interworkings of like
Hmm.
Palantir, who is going to like be putting a chip in all of our heads and knows all the data. It's just data mining every little factoid that you search on the internet. But like you said, it is interesting. I mean, Elon also, I do want to say quick, the one person that is thrilled about this feud is Mr. Steve Bannon. He is
Oh, he's
loving, he has been hating Elon, the bromance between
forever.
Trump. Yes, he is. He's been so, and I love Bannon. I like genuinely, like he's, if he's probably part of like a holy trinity of me for this whole like MAGA universe. Like I like literally adore Steve Bannon so much. Like I have a crush on Steve Bannon, but that's like I said, I'm digressing a lot. But Steve
Hmm.
Bannon, he has just been not a fan of Elon, which I have to say, he also rightly so was like pointing out like this whole like Elon pushing for the visas, the H-1B
Hmm.
visas, and that was something that Bannon was not in favor of, and I kind of appreciate that he kind of put that out there that like hold on, these visas are not MAGA. This is not what he is the Bannon has the pulse on the people, and obviously that was something that Elon Musk was kind of pushing for, and then Trump was like, yeah, we need that. We need that technology, for these. I'm sure that was just some talking points that he was getting from Musk and from some other people. So Bannon is loving this. He's actually told Trump to deport Musk and to like seize some of his companies. Like,
Yeah, sees SpaceX. Yeah.
yeah, seize SpaceX. So Steve is probably he is just enjoying the heck out of it. I'm sure he's feeling like his chickens have come home to roost, and he's trying to just like get back in there. Also loving it is Ashley St. Clair. I don't know if you
Oh
saw this.
yeah.
If anybody remembers, Ashley St. Clair.
Everybody
Uh,
forgot that she
yeah,
existed already.
I know. It's like I have to remind people because there's just so many tweets that go out a day. But she is the person that she is the woman who claimed to have one of Elon's love children, like a child, like his 13th child. And she's still currently fighting in court for to have Elon publicly. I just saw this in the New York Post today. So Elon has not actually publicly acknowledged this child yet, but she did tell Trump that she could offer some advice and how
Some
to break
breakup
up some
advice,
breakup
she said.
advice. And then I do appreciate that Milo Yiannopoulos jumped in and said, "Honey, You were never in a relationship. So my
You were just
yeah.
impregnated.
Yes, you were just, yeah, don't confuse yourself. So so much drama going on. I guess, at first I was kind of like I've said on the show previously, I kind of have a sweet spot for Elon, just because of him being so autistic. I just like
Hmm.
love, there's something I just like adore about him. But I think I'm gonna have to go, I'm leaning Team Trump on this one. I think like
Yeah,
I
just because
have
of
to
the
say, yeah,
implications of that one tweet for me, the whole impeach Trump
yeah,
thing, put in Vance,
yeah.
that freaked me out. Also, what do you think was up with the black eye?
Ooh, yeah. I don't know. Maybe just another love child thing going on. Maybe just another woman. What do you think?
Trump made a comment about it on screen. I don't know if you noticed. Trump said, I offered Elon makeup, but he said that he wanted everybody to see the black eye. Why would he want everybody to see his black eye? And I think he said it was like his 4-year-old punched him in the face or something like that. I think that that's BS.
This is true. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I don't think it was a woman either. I don't think it had anything to do with like a baby mama. I think somebody roughed him up. Like I think that there's like crazy stuff going on behind the scenes. I think that there's a real war going on that
Yeah, you have
we
to understand that too. This guy's apparently on drugs. I mean, I've seen some videos of him that are like clearly you're like, yeah, that guy's on drugs. So we have like an autistic man who's the wealthiest man on the planet running around taking ketamine every day.
Tim Dillon did a great bit on that on his last podcast, by the way, about Elon high on ketamine with a chainsaw. Like I go listen to that. That was a good one.
I didn't
But
hear, but yeah, I mean, like pretty much like think about this. We have an autistic individual who's got more money than God, high
mhm.
on ketamine, like you said, running around with chainsaws, trying to run the country, trying to impregnate every woman that he can possibly impregnate. And then you have Donald Trump over there too. So it's just it's a very bizarre situation. But like I said, maybe they did have some people kind of like rough, and maybe he did get a little physical, and Secret Service had to get involved. I mean, who's say this is truly like a domestic dispute? Like it actually feels like a relationship. And I know a lot of us been joking about that, but it felt like a bromance before, and now it truly feels like a romantic breakup. And I do want to say to Musk's credit, I do agree with him about like the whole big beautiful bill. Like obviously we don't want any more crazy government spending. But
Does it even matter though, really?
does that,
Like,
no,
does it even really
that's not
matter?
what we're fighting about. Okay. We're not fighting about actual policy here. We're just riffing on what vibes. It's just about vibes. This country
You,
is about vibes now. We don't vote based on policy. We don't vote based on ethics. We vote based on vibes. This is a vibe
right. And
country.
that's why I might vote for AOC in the
Yeah.
2028 election. Did you see her in that clip that I sent you last night of her commenting on the whole feud?
Hmm.
Everybody's
Hmm.
saying like she just looks glowing. She just looks like she's just looking fine. I'm sorry. And have you ever seen her significant other, by the way? Like
Yes. Yeah.
he's just
Yeah.
like this like unkempt sandal wearing granola eating like just disgusting individual. And I feel like she would have an equally good time like with me, like sitting on the couch with the cat, like watching Vanilla Sky. Like we would just be like watching Tom Cruise movies all the time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think, yeah, it would be a conservative socialist heaven, like paradise. Yeah.
yes.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, like, in a sense, like, honestly, like we've always joked around about being like conservative socialist, but like Steve Bannon like actually is like a conservative socialist. Like he
Hmm.
actually
Yeah.
but anyway, I don't want to talk about that. I do want to continue to talk about the whole Trump Musk drama here because like I said, this is kind of the most important thing. But I think anybody with an ounce of intellectual honesty, which is mostly none of the people, like 99% of the people in the whole like MAGA worshiping world don't actually have any intellectual honesty. Like you
No,
had
they're all
people,
paid.
like they were all like, Musk is an angel sent from heaven and Jesus and Musk or one or something crazy. Like they were just like worshiping Elon. But I think anyone who actually can look at this objectively knew that this is pretty much where the direction this was going. Like we all knew you have Elon, who is a special form of narcissism, which is really just autism. Like, if
Hmm.
anybody knows anybody with autism, it's like they're very focused. They're kind of in their own. I'm not talking about internet autism, like these people that think that they have autism. I'm talking
Oh
about like
yeah, yeah,
real autistic people. It's like
yeah.
they
Actual
have their
Asperger's.
focus. Yeah, like they have their focus. They want to get what they want to get done. They need you to like bend to their will. And you know, I'm sure there's a spectrum to that. But also you have Trump in the other corner who is a true narcissist. And I know that we throw that word around a lot nowadays, but let's be real. Like Trump truly is a narcissist. He's like the textbook version definition of a narcissist. And we knew that these two individuals, I mean, Musk is used to running things his way, getting his way. He's like the richest man in the world. He owns all these different companies. Like he's not used to bending to somebody else's will. And obviously, Trump is used to doing his thing, and neither of them can take any criticism or any feedback in a healthy, sober-minded manner. So we knew this clash was coming. I mean, clearly
Don't you
it
remember
was
back in
inevitable.
2016 when during Trump's first term, Elon like freaked out on him over climate change, like he was on some sort of council and then like he
Yeah,
walked off the council over climate change. So so the relationship was always really weird.
tumultuous.
Yeah, it was always very tumultuous to begin with. And don't forget Elon, like, you were saying earlier about how all of the people in the MAGA sphere and all the conservatives, were really high on Elon for a while. But don't forget, he was always advocating for a carbon tax. Like there, you can go watch clips of him on Joe Rogan pushing for a carbon tax and all these other, super more liberal policies because at the end of the day, guess what? Elon Musk he's a liberal atheist. He's a liberal hedonistic Silicon Valley atheist. He's not a conservative. He's not right wing. I guess maybe you can call him like a classical liberal,
Liberal,
so
yeah,
to
yeah,
speak. But he was never it was always funny how they projected this image of this
yeah.
this right-wing patriot who's
I love
gonna
how they like love that he like wants to have children. Like they love that he like they like him walking around with his kid all the time. And then
Mhm.
poor Grimes is like tweeting on X. She's like, "Can you please contact me back so I can see my son?"
Yeah. Yeah, what a family, man. What a
Yeah, like what
what a
a family
conservative.
man. Yeah, exactly. And like I do genuinely believe like there's wild conservative people that think that like it's so endearing him like walking around with his child, and which I believe like the rest of us know like no, it's not like that. That child's just the golden child. Let's be real. Like that one's probably
Hmm.
the best looking and the most like him or something like that, and that's
Yeah.
why that child is like the other ones are probably like, let's be real, the trans one is the black sheep. Okay. That child is like,
Mm.
that one's the scapegoat. That one was the one that was all the problems. I'm talking about if you're in a narcissistic family tree, like clearly the one X or whatever the hell his name is the
Hmm.
golden child. All those other ones are like, they're the scapegoats. That trans one is definitely like the scapegoat. So it's like, this is not healthy. This is not Christian family values. It's not traditional values. That's none of that. Like I said, I have a soft spot for Elon, but like I said, I think that we all kind of knew this is where things were going. But it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting. And apparently, Trump refused to take a call from Elon today.
I heard about that.
He said that he just like brushed it. He's like, no, I'm not taking his call. So,
Good
I
for him.
mean, yeah. So
Why
good
should
for,
he have to? Like he
yeah,
doesn't even work for the administration anymore. He's out. He's done. He's
yeah.
he's just like a private sector guy now. Like he's
Yeah, this guy's trying to run our country. He's not going to bend to you. So,
yeah,
yeah,
go away.
exactly. Yeah, go away, Elon. Who do you think you are? But Elon's probably like seething because we know he loves he loves the validation. So it's
Hmm.
but yeah, I mean, really, let's be real. We're on Team Trump because Elon is just for he's trying to put like a chip in our head. He's trying to impregnate your wife. Like he's trying to abandon you and go to Mars. So
Yeah, he doesn't
we're
even
with
care about this
yeah,
planet, let alone this
yeah,
country.
yes,
So,
exactly. Trump's just trying to have a Diet Coke and golf. So it's like, okay, yes, that's a man we can get behind.
yeah, exactly.
He just doesn't like to be criticized because he's a narcissist. Let's be real. But yeah, so I'm glad that we kind of were able to discuss that. I am heartbroken though because there was something they had something special. I remember watching them on Hannity
Hmm.
and just seeing them together, and it was just sweet for a moment there. For a
For a
short
moment.
moment, there was just a glimpse of unity, a glimpse of love, a glimpse of just
Camaraderie.
camaraderie. Yeah, that's exactly the word I was going for. Yes, we just were right there in sync, and now that's all gone. And it's like I almost feel like, is love even real? Does love even is it
Yeah, I mean, if that
possible?
could fall apart,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
what is love? Is
Like, are
there
my
true
parents
love?
gonna stay together? Like, how do my
Probably
grandparents? I
not.
guess
Let's
my
be
yeah,
honest.
yeah.
Probably
Like, am I
not.
gonna stay with my husband? Like, if they can't,
Who
if they
knows?
can't make it through all of this, like, who am I to even think I can
What
have any success?
what did you think of that Epstein allegation that Elon made? That was interesting.
I mean, it is interesting because like we see that Trump got back in office and there were all these promises about like Epstein and we had the binders from hell and we got breadcrumbs
Hmm.
and we
All the
thought we were getting
influencers
scorched
got
earth. Yeah, and
the
I
fake
don't
binders.
really, I mean, I think we all knew that Trump kind of hung with Epstein and all that, but like I don't know, like Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago,
He did. He
right?
banned him. Yeah,
So
and
I
he cooperated with the police in the area in
yeah,
answering
so
questions and such.
yeah, I think he's one of like the few people in my mind, like, okay, if he kicked him out, he clearly didn't care what Epstein had to say and or do. Like he wasn't, seems like Epstein, he wasn't controlled by Epstein. If you kicked him out of your club,
Hmm.
then he must not have had anything on you. Not to
Right.
mention Trump like paid off. I mean, Trump got with Stormy for what is it, Horse Face Daniels. Like
Yeah, Stormy
I just
Daniels.
don't think that he was into children. Like, I just don't get the
No.
vibe he was into that whole thing. And I don't think he would have felt comfortable with that like weird synagogue. Like, I think Trump is a classic man. Like,
Hmm.
he's just, like a Marlboro man or something. Like,
I agree.
is he sometimes a petulant child and a malignant narcissist? Of course. But is he into child sacrifice? I just don't think so. I just don't
No.
know.
Also, I was saying to you before we got on air here,
Yes, yes,
I
yeah.
was talking about those, and I think that these were validated. It was email correspondence between Elon and Jeffrey Epstein, where Jeffrey was asking him like, "Hey, did you meet up with Ghislaine for the kung fu class?" And yeah, do a little search on X
Okay. Yeah.
or wherever and look up like Elon Musk, Jeffrey Epstein emails. And there's also that photo with Elon and Ghislaine where Elon claimed years ago that like she photo bombed him, but it was like so clearly like a picture where they were taking a picture together. Like it's
Yeah.
pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I think that he obviously had some sort of connection. I mean, everybody was connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Like if you were
Everybody.
anybody of like prominence or wealth, it seems like you had some sort of affiliation with Jeffrey Epstein, no matter how minor it may have been. Like you encountered him at some point, or I mean, look
Yeah.
at RFK Jr. He flew on the on his plane like
Lillian
twice or
Express.
something.
Yeah.
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 I'd have
I
flown on that plane though, to be honest with you. Like if I
yeah,
got
I
the
mean,
invite, wouldn't you have?
um
Sure you would have.
I guess. I mean, I
What
suppose.
do you
I
mean
mean,
you
if I
guess?
was I yeah, it just depends on where the plane was going. I guess that's kind of important, but yeah, I
Storm
don't.
in New
The
York.
guy kind of looked like the Grinch though, so he kind of creeped me out. So I don't know if I would have gotten
Ooh,
to play with him. Epstein.
okay. Epstein,
What a
yeah.
picture of him where he like looks like the Grinch. He's like kind of creepy
Well,
looking.
if Ghislaine was on the flight, I think that Ghislaine is a fine looking woman. Let me tell you. And I think that maybe Trump should consider, giving her giving her a pardon. I mean,
It's kind of wild that she's like still alive, isn't it? Like she's just
it is, yeah.
like almost like
Imagine what
crazy.
she knows.
Imagine
She's
what
gotta
she
know.
knows. Yeah,
She
I was
has to
thinking
know a
about that today because
lot.
I think you sent me Alan Dershowitz is trying to get her
Yeah.
pardoned or something crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, I think she should get pardoned if she writes a tell-all book. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like if she's in prison writing a book and she can show it to us and somebody can read it. Yeah, then definitely like let's get that out. The thing about those Epstein files though, and even like the JFK files, who's to say like so much of that stuff wasn't like already scrubbed or not
Oh, I think
documented?
it was.
You know what I
I
mean?
thought,
Like,
like, why would they just leave it? Like, why would it just be like sitting like
yeah,
somewhere? You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
All
Like,
that shit got destroyed like
yeah,
long
it's
ago.
exactly. There was
You're never gonna
somebody
know.
paid off. Whoever was actually investigating probably died mysteriously. So yeah, it's. I wouldn't even. I wouldn't be surprised if those. But that binder, that whatever binder nonsense was just so pathetic. Like that was one of the worst. That was
That
like
was like the lowest point,
yeah,
I think,
yeah,
so far.
that was humiliating. That was probably like one of the lowest days in the Trump saga, like of all the
Hmm.
Trump. But I feel like he did a good job kind of separating himself from that. I feel like it was like a Pam Bondi thing. Like somehow like
Yeah,
it didn't get really associated with Trump. It like just got associated with like Pam Bondi. People are
right.
like,
That wouldn't have
Trump,
happened if Matt Gaetz was the attorney general, by the way.
no,
Matt Gaetz
no.
would have done something, and that's why he wasn't allowed to be attorney general.
Exactly. Yeah. Now he's just like relegated to like OAN or wherever he's
Yeah.
at. He's like almost our attorney general. And then he's just like on like Full Send podcast
Yeah,
next week.
that is sad.
Like you said, influencer cabinet. I mean, that's just
Hmm.
100%. It's an influencer cabinet. And that is the truth. And that's why we should all be just summering with Greta Thunberg,
Hmm.
that is, and just be enjoying the waves. I'm glad that she solved the climate crisis too. It seems like she's moved on.
Yeah, she
Well, I
forgot
guess the
about that.
planet's not ending. I guess Gaza is more important than the future of our planet
I
and our
guess.
existential threat of our planet being destroyed. So Greta has other fish to fry, and she is just. I saw her. There was like a picture of her, and she's like holding on to the sail, and it just looks very us, just European. There
Hmm.
was just like an aristocratic flair to it that I just could imagine myself sunning on the yacht with Greta, enjoying some drinks
Yeah,
and
yeah, margarita or
yeah,
two.
yeah, yeah. So she looked like she was having a good time. And I'm like, I should be there too. I should not be here in my home without central air. And I just want to make a comment real quick about central because it's humidity in the summer arrived all in one day in Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
And I never want to hear a word about privilege when I've never lived in a home with central air. Okay. I've never lived in a home with central air. I've always had to put a box in the window. And
Oh my God.
also did not have braces. So it's like I don't want to ever be preached ever again about privilege. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like if you've had also, if you grew up in a home with central air and you have braces, you are not allowed to protest. You are not allowed to say anything in this
What,
country.
braces?
Yes, I feel like braces, unless like the government paid for your braces somehow. Wait, I need the combo. You had central air and you had braces.
I can one up that. I had central air growing up and I didn't need
You're
to have braces.
I did not. I mean, my teeth are relatively straight, but I would like to have had like perfect teeth because
Mhm.
everybody has perfect. But now it's like in vogue to not have perfect teeth. Like a lot of
It
the
kind of is
actresses,
actually.
it is, yeah. So I
Look at
think,
the like Sydney Sweeney. Like her smile's kind of like messed up a little bit.
yeah, there's an actress that's on White Lotus that's like has really gnarly teeth and like,
Yeah.
yeah. So now it's actually, I think because everything has become so plastic and everything feels so fake. Like when you watch movies nowadays, you'll see like a biopic and it's supposed to be set in like the 1970s and like everybody has like perfectly straight teeth and they like look a
Right.
certain way and you're like nobody has any wrinkles, like everybody has Botox and they're like hi and it just doesn't, it just feels so phony. It feels so plastic. So I think people are kind of gravitating towards seeing real faces.
Hmm.
And if you really watch like old movies, which I like love old, I love like Turner, me and Steve Bannon love Turner classic movies. And when
You
you
and Steve just
watch,
like have so
yes,
much in common.
we
Like,
we really do. And I feel like we need to just meet. Like that's
yeah,
my
I agree.
dream. If somebody can make that happen, I would really appreciate it. But anyway, yeah, so you watch those old movies and there's always they just feel so much more real. Like there's just like a rawness to them that you just don't get anymore in films. And I think, like you said, I think the teeth is one of those things that people don't have. They all have caps or veneers, and it just doesn't feel. So anyway, you and I are braceless, and that is actually become. I guess that's becoming a new status symbol. Is to just to never have needed braces.
Yeah, it really is. That's the one thing, like the one genetic gift I got, the lone one, the lone genetic gift that I got was like having naturally straight teeth and never needing braces. Like, thank God. I thank God every day that I always had good teeth and didn't have cavities and didn't need braces. But that was really where it ended, though. You know,
Yeah.
that
Well,
was really where the genetic gifts
you're also
ended.
you're also tall. You're also
Yeah,
tall.
you're right. I'm like six
That's
feet
pretty
tall, which is
good. That's pretty good.
nice, you
Except for they
know.
die. Tall people die earlier than shorter people, though. So maybe it's not.
Yeah, but I think that like, six
Is that
foot
like
ten
yeah?
people die early. 7 foot tall people die earlier. Not like, you know,
Yeah, I don't know.
not like regular
And that's probably
height
not true
people.
anymore. That was probably like back in the day when like there wasn't food wasn't available, like calories were not able to be consumed like they are today.
Hmm.
Like food wasn't as readily accessible. But I can't believe so you had Central Air and the Lincoln. No wonder you thought you were rich growing up.
I told you, there were so many things growing up that gave me the illusion, that I was just never, work was not a thought at
Yeah.
all. To me, that was something like the unfortunate people had to put up with that I certainly wasn't going to be a part of my life ever, because we had Central Air, we had the Lincoln, we had HBO growing up.
Oh wow, you were woo
I know. We ordered
crazy.
every pay-per-view, every wrestling pay-per-view. Yeah, we were, went to private school, parochial school, so
Yes, you were just you grew up in the lap of luxury,
yeah, yeah,
apparently.
pretty much. Pretty much.
Wow. Wow.
I've had I've had a blessed life, but it gave me the wrong idea about how life worked though. It gave me the
Well,
wrong
I
idea.
I just want to say I think that Elon could get back in our good graces if he has gone on record of saying not only will you have UBI, universal basic income, but you will have a high universal basic income. So the only
Hmm.
way that Elon can fix everything, number one, like if he's so worried about the bill and the spending, like why isn't he footing the bill? Why isn't
Right,
he
he's got the dough.
lending? Yeah, like why isn't he lending the government money to cover for Social Security? Like, come on, Elon, like step up, put your money where your mouth is, take care of this. Most of the government spending is for like your grandmother's, Social Security check and her hospital visits. Like that's like where most of the spending is going. And so I think it's up to Elon to kind of just like give the government some like no zero interest loans. Like I think that that's probably the solution that we need here.
there's also something in that bill that prohibits states from putting any restrictions on AI for 10 years. Like that's also in the big beautiful bill. Like that states can't make any laws restricting artificial intelligence for 10 years.
Oh
So
my
I don't
gosh.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. This is just, well, the truth is I just feel about with AI, it's kind of like the internet. Like it's inevitable. Like you can't stop these things once they start. And I just don't. I actually, I think I mentioned like the last podcast. I listened to an interview with the Godfather of AI, and he's really concerned about it. And he actually, as much as he doesn't agree with Elon Musk, he did agree with Elon a little bit about some of Elon sounding the alarm about some of the AI issues. But um, yeah, the way I feel about it is just it is what it is. It's like stopping the automobile. You get what I'm saying? Like it's just going to be what it's going to be, and whether that's good or bad, I'm sorry. I just think that
It's gonna be bad.
it's gonna, yeah,
It's gonna be real bad. It's gonna enslave us all and probably
yeah,
kill us all too.
probably likely. That's why I'm always nice to the robot at the grocery store. I always thank Chat
Oh,
GPT.
I always make sure to say thank you,
Yes.
ChatGPT,
Although
very
I'm
much.
pretty sure that's costing it millions. I saw an article that like the tech, like the power it takes and the time it takes
Yeah.
to avert. Yeah, it costs like millions of dollars for us to like thank Chat GPT. But I of course am going to thank it and make sure that I get in good with the ancestors of AI. So like one
Hmm.
day when they're making decisions, they'll be like, okay, this person is viable. Which I just saw an article today. There's a company, this is really freaky, like Brave New World. There is a company that is um, working to decide. So there's a lot of people who like get the IVF, and they are working to decide which embryos are going to be like blind or have maybe some kind of genetic disorders. Um, Not just genetic disorders that would, uh, I guess, decrease the likelihood of, of a healthy pregnancy, but Down syndrome, so many different things, like I said, like blindness, how long they're going to live, like certain factors like that, and they're deciding which embryos are more likely to be viable, healthy candidates, and which ones are not. And it's like using artificial intelligence to decide which babies or embryos get to actually make it to birth. And it kind of think about that now. Like, okay, so we're starting with embryos. At what point does the artificial intelligence start to decide which humans are likely to live and survive? Like,
Probably within the next 10 years, I would say.
yeah, yeah. And so think about that. So the government, that's why I'm opposed to government healthcare. Like people wake the hell up. Like I know it's bad, but like you do not want the government deciding if your grandmother lives or dies. Like you
Hmm.
want to make that decision. You want to be in control of that. You don't. So now imagine not only is the government deciding, but a robot is deciding.
Mm.
A learning machine is going to decide whether or not you get to live. And that's kind of where I've always stood. Like when we talk about like abortion and everything, it's like, hey, like today we get to decide. Tomorrow we might not be the decision makers. So I think it's pretty important for us to protect human life. Like I think that that's probably where we need to end up. But so nonetheless, Colin, it's nice knowing you. I will probably be considered obsolete by by
Well,
the
I gotta be honest,
artificial
like
intelligence.
I'm not really into this world. To be honest, you know what I mean? Like, are you into it at all? Like, are you excited by it? I'm not.
Yeah, I understand what you're
It's gonna
saying.
be
I think,
hellish.
yeah, I do really feel even worse for like younger people that
Oh my
are
God.
even like I was with my brother this past week, and he's 9 years younger than me, and like just talking to him about like buying a home. I mean, he fortunately doesn't have student debt, but like buying a home for his generation feels like almost unattainable. Like it
It
just feels
is.
like everything is just stacked against them, and they kind of feel so like hopeless. And that's I don't know, that's a daunting situation to be in. That's why you see like the doom spending that a lot of Gen Z does. They just spend like crazy living for now because they genuinely just don't see a fruitful future. And I don't know,
Jesus
that's all
Christ
alarming.
needs to come back
He needs to come
like
back.
real, so like it can't be like some shit like 100 years from now. Like no, like
Yeah.
does it really have to get that much worse? Probably. It probably has to get a lot worse, doesn't it? Oh
Yeah,
God.
I mean, but honestly, it doesn't feel like it's going to take very long. Like I just feel
No,
as
no, it
if
doesn't.
think about how bad and I don't know. I'm not one of these people that's like a doom and gloom kind of person. I I don't feel that way. Like I don't I understand what you're saying. Um, but I think the way I feel about it is I don't really spend a lot of time worrying about what the future is going to be. I guess I don't struggle with a lot
It's a
of
good mindset.
anxiety. So I have that going for
That must
me.
be something. That must be something.
Yes, I almost have like zero anxiety. So
Oh,
but I guess just because I've been through a lot of things, so I just don't, I'm like, okay, like I've kind of been through the worst case scenario. And
but
yeah,
Karen,
so yeah,
Palantir is gonna hunt us
Palantir.
down and lock us
Yeah,
away. Do you
yeah.
realize
I
that?
don't want to be locked away. That actually does really scare me. Like I think prison is like one of my greatest fears. But um, yeah, I don't know. I think I recommend anybody that is struggling with that, struggling with anxiety or struggling about like the future or struggling with really any negative thoughts about life in general and the meaning of life should read Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. He was a concentration camp uh, prisoner
Hmm.
during World War II, and he was also a psychiatrist. And he ended up coming up with what's called logotherapy. And his book kind of talks about the first part of the book talks about his experience in the concentration camp. And then his second part of the book kind of talks about his approach to what he thinks therapy should be. Unfortunately, most therapy has kind of like taken his stuff and abandoned it and have had us just like focus on and fixate on every little past trauma we've ever had. But his is more about embracing life as it is, accepting reality as it is,
Mm.
and kind of looking towards the things we can control and accepting that we're not in control of everything and kind of just embracing it and moving forward. And his book is so good. It really got me through some difficult times in the hospital. But yeah, I think that that's kind of I kind of take that approach where I'm like, it says in the Bible to just like rejoice in the day that the Lord has made. I will be glad and rejoice in it. So to me, it's like that's just the way I see it. I think about just like, okay, what can I do today? How can I kind of like, I hate to use the word ground, but like literally ground myself in the here and now, the present, and make the most of what's right in front of me. Because there's been days where I was in the hospital and there wasn't a lot of positive, there was a lot of negative, there was a lot of struggle. And I think now sometimes I just think to myself, like, I just went on a bike ride before and I'm just like, wow, I'm so grateful I could go for a bike ride today. Like that was enough for me. You know what I mean? Like that was enough to make me. I'm not worried
Aren't
about
you just
Palantir.
something? Aren't you just
I'm not thinking about
something?
the recessions and the calamities and the wars and the. I just think that if a lot of us, we got to put the phones down. Number one,
Yeah, we do.
we got to put the phones
We need
down.
to delete the social media.
We got to
What
delete
benefit
it.
is there really to
Yes,
being on it?
we've got to just delete all of that, and we've got to just look at. I literally, and I think I've said this before, the phones, there is something, okay, when right now we are having a conversation and you are right in front of me and the
Yeah.
conversations we have, I think we come away um laughing, enriched, sometimes encouraged,
Hmm.
and just like it's just there's life in it, right? Like there's just life in the conversations we have and they give our life meaning. But if I sat there and you were in front of me and all I did was stare at my screen and look at X, I'm not seeing what's right in front of me. And that's just one example of what you're missing out on. Now, think about that for every part of your life. What are you missing out on because you're staring at a screen and you're allowing the
Yeah.
algorithm, you're allowing Palantir, you're allowing Meta, you're allowing these freaks like Mark Zuckerberg tell you what's important in your life and what you need to see. No, thank you. I will go out and I will appreciate the birds. I will appreciate the sun. I will enjoy a sip of coffee. Colin has a Chemex, and
I do.
I will
I
appreciate the
love it.
people in front of me. And that is what we should. That's what we should be doing, Colin. I know it's a
Ted
lot.
Kaczynski, man.
Yes,
Ted
it's a lot.
Kaczynski
Yes,
was a hero and was right about everything is what
not
it boils
everything.
about what it boils down
Just
to.
maybe the methods weren't the best, but the
Yeah, you could
principles were
argue that, I
well.
suppose.
Yeah.
That the but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Yes.
That's a joke.
Well,
Um,
I have work to do, unfortunately, because of unfortunately the internet exists and tethers me to my laptop on a Friday night. But I think that I'm glad that we are back. I'm going to try to take no trips for the foreseeable future.
I'm going on a trip next
Oh yeah,
Saturday
you're going on a trip. Oh my God. So we're gonna have
for
to
a
record.
change.
Okay, okay. We're gonna have
It's
to
like
next
Bizarro
week.
World.
All right. So this is Bizarro World. But before we go, we're gonna have to get back. We're gonna have to do early. And then I'm so excited in a couple weeks to look forward to actually hearing about your trip. That's gonna
Yeah, I'm
be
going to Las Vegas, so that should be a nice time. It's been a while since I've been out there, good 5 years.
right.
So I'm
Yes.
I'm I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward not so much looking forward to the whole airport experience and the long
Yeah.
flight and all that. I hate flying, I hate airports, I hate all that. But God willing, when I land, I'm gonna have a fun time in beautiful, fabulous Las Vegas, the number one family destination in America, according to Clark Griswold. So,
All right. Well, I will see you next week. And until then,
yeah,
we hope that Elon and Trump can make amends. If not, Trump can just deport him, like Steve Bannon
yeah,
said.
yeah. And who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe like the real World War III could break out between now and then. That's also a possibility too.
That is always a
You know.
possibility. That is.
So
So,
we'll see,
all
right?
right. All right. We'll see you.
See you next time.
Bye.